Okay, so what I'm getting is that you have closed out a major cycle just recently. And you could be feeling the aftermath of that. Like you could be feeling a lot more centered in your body, a lot more mental clarity and mental space in your head, and just at peace. And it doesn't mean you know necessarily where you're headed, but it just feels like a stillness after the storm. It's like the calm after the storm. Because, yeah, you went through a really big purge and release, and this was on every level: mental, energetic, uh, bodily. And it took a lot out of you, and it actually lasted quite a few months. And it's been this constant feeling of death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. And every time you went through this, like these mini deaths and rebirths, every single time you went through it and you like rebirth, you thought like, okay, this is it. Like this is the new cycle. But it was all these like mini deaths and rebirths that you were going through. So in a way, it's like this one big death and rebirth that you went through, but they were broken up into like mini ones, right? If that makes any sense. And it's been a lot on your system. Like it has felt very heavy, very dense. And every time you went through like this level of clearing, you thought, okay, like that's that. Like I've purged, I've released so much. Now I'm done. Now I'm good. Now my new chapter starts. And it's like you did get breaks in these like mini deaths and rebirths that you went through, but it was never like the actual start of your new chapter. It's like you were getting the time to integrate between each and every single death and rebirth. So you went through a cycle of a death and rebirth. You had a little bit of a break to like integrate and let your energy recalibrate. And then you went through another one. And then again, you're like, okay, maybe it's done now. And no, you went through your integration. And then again, you went through another one. But it's been intense. It's been like one after the other, one after the other. Even when you had your bit of like rest period and this like integration period, it still didn't last a long time. Like you would automatically go through like another death and rebirth and processing old trauma, old grief, old hurt, clearing a lot of ancestral stuff. Like you went through a very big transition in your life of ending a lot of things, like things you didn't realize that were still energetically open and active in your field, even if you thought that you closed them out because you don't really think about those things anymore, but they were still active in your field and you just closed that out. You have done so much work, so much work. Like, do you realize how much of a champion you are, how much of a warrior spirit you are, because you did a lot of work. And mind you, no one actually saw this. And it's not like it was for anybody to see, but you went through this alone and you were forged in the fire that you thought you were going to burn sometimes. Like you thought you were going to burn alive sometimes, because it was that much. You didn't know you were going to make it out on the other side. You're like, well, I'm doing this now. I have to dedicate myself to this work now. I have to dedicate myself to this transmutation. I'm finally done. I need to heal the past however many years, decades even, of everything that I have been through, and even my generational line. You have done so much work. And yes, no one really saw you in it. No one actually saw the depths of the fires and the darkness and the void that you had to go through, but you went through it all by yourself and without an applause and without an audience, without anybody really seeing how intense this was for you. And I'm not saying that they should have, because this is kind of like a journey that you have to take alone. But I get how isolating that can feel. Completely, 1,000%. And it's almost like it is nice to hear from somebody else that you're a freaking warrior. Like, you have a warrior spirit. You're a champion. You've been through the depths of your darkest shadows and nights and the void. Like, you've been through a lot the last couple of months. And you deserve to know that, like, you're a champion because you went through that. Even when no one was like cheering you on, applauding you, or you had no one to really like talk to about this, you pulled yourself through all these deaths and rebirths, and they were intense. And this is why, actually, now I'm understanding, this is why you had so many of these like mini deaths and rebirths, where it always felt like, okay, it's done. I can emerge into this new person now. And then it was like, nope, we're going through another one. It's because each of those deaths and rebirths were so intense that if it was like one whole big one, it would have been way too intense for your system. Like, way too intense. You had to integrate after each one. So it's like you're kind of like spoon fed your transformation, because eating one whole meal would have been just way too much for your system. Like, you wouldn't have been able to do that. Even though you're like this champion warrior spirit, it's like we still live in these 3D physical bodies, and there's so much that our bodies, our mental capacity, like everything that can take, right? And that was a lot of work. But the last one that you went through, what I'm sensing was like the final one. And I'm not saying that it's like you're never gonna integrate other things or you're never gonna learn other no, like, no, you're a growth mindset kind of person. But like, the last couple months you went through a lot of that, where it's like we deserve to have a little bit of an off season and deserve to have fun and enjoy life and not only focus on healing, right? because that's not the point of life. Like, it is, but it isn't. It's like you got to enjoy it too and just be a human and stuff like that, right? And so that's what I mean. It's like you finally closed out this intensive cycle so that now you can enjoy. Now you don't have to spend your time in isolation, your time in transmuting so many things. Like, again, things are going to come up, but they're not going to be as intense as they have been for the last little while for you, where it's been like, are you crazy? Like, how much do I have to go through? Like, how much of these deaths and rebirths do I have to go through? Like, I have cleared my whole generational line. You have. Basically, you've done a lot of work. And this last one, like I said, especially if you had a lot of bodily symptoms, you've just closed out a major cycle. And how you'll know that is by how calm you feel now, how, like, at peace you are right now with everything that has happened, with all the decisions that you have made, with clearing all the old debris and trauma. It's like you've watched the craziest storm come in, and you watched it, and it was like insane, and then it clears out, and then finally there's like this moment of pure quiet. And that's what you can feel and sense and hear right now, is this, like, just quiet. And it feels good to be in this quiet of just like, okay, like, you can sense it. You can sense that you've closed this big, massive cycle out. Like, you could sense it in your field, that it's just, there's stillness, there's this purity, and that you can just be. And you've come to like this acceptance. So let your body integrate, because again, it takes a little bit of time. Like, you're feeling the stillness, you're feeling the calm after the storm. Be in this energy just a little bit. Allow yourself to enjoy this for a moment, because you've done a lot of intensive work. Give yourself a pat on the back. Celebrate yourself somehow. And just enjoy this for a little bit, because now is when your new cycle starts. Now is where you're gonna start seeing things start popping up in your reality, your life. Like, all the seeds that you have planted the last couple of months about, like, how you've always wanted to live your life. Like, always wanted to live your life. Like, the type, and what I mean by that is like the type of life you wanted to always have, and the feelings associated with it, and the type of people in it. And it's like this bliss, abundance, joy, adventure, travel, all that, all those seeds, they're gonna start like sprouting up. It's going to start with one, then another, but like, yeah, this is like your new chapter, your new cycle. And it's going to look so different than basically from when you were born up until just now. Like that whole cycle, done. Because that was heavy. That was dense. That was heavy. That was dark. That was a lot that you went through. So think about how many years that was, and you cleared that out in just a few months. It's a lot of work. That's why I'm saying, like, you are a warrior spirit, an absolute champion with doing this. And just so you know, you've cleared like from 7 generations back, just so 7 generations forward can live a different life. Like, that's huge. And you deserve a round of applause. So make sure you know that, you feel that. My light just went off. Probably can tell in this video. So take that as a sign. Yeah, you did a lot of beautiful work. Like, I'm proud of you. So be proud of yourself. Feel that. Because your new cycle of a completely different life now starts now. It starts now. So start paying attention to what is going to start coming into your reality. Start paying attention to the signs and your intuitive nudges of what is next. If there's like a certain place that is calling you, go to it. If a friend invited you somewhere, and even if you're not sure, if you really feel into it with your intuition and it's telling you to go, go. Because you're going to start now seeing these seeds that you have planted, they'll start popping up now. Now's the time. This is exciting. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. And please let me know down below how this resonated with you. And if you're already starting to see like the different seeds that you planted, if they're starting to pop up, I would love to know. Anyway, I'm going to end it there, and I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you on the next one.